Is there any feeling at all of being in the closet about this?
Maybe, kind of. I think that with all fan fiction writers, there's always sort of a feel of like, oh god, people are going to judge me because I'm one of those people that writes fan fiction.
One of those people, what's that stereotype usually?
Like weirdos who live in their parents' basement, or like girls who, especially when it comes to like GLBT themed fan fiction, especially if it's like guy on guy, I feel like there's always going to be that, oh, you're just one of those crazy fangirls who doesn't actually know anything about GLBT stuff. You're a yaoi fangirl. You're one of those weirdos.
Yaoi.
Yaoi is, I think it's, from what I can tell, it's like the Japanese term for like comics or manga that focus on two guys and their sexual relationship. And it's always like, there's the one who's like, I'm not gay and I'm tough and I like you, but I'm not going to say I like you because I'm not gay. Then the other one is always like really feminine, like, oh, I love you so much, and this, and that, and it's just really stereotypical.
Okay.
And it's kind of a, people just sort of look at that like, oh god, that's so pathetic. So
it's sort of it's usually like winning the person over.
Yeah,
or...
it's sort of a trope that's used a lot, and I feel like while it can work, I feel like a lot of people think it's stupid.
Hello, this is Damien with Survivors of the Undead Plague, and I'm here with Kate Currie, who is a writer of... what would you say you're a writer of?
Left 4 Dead fan fiction.
Left 4 Dead fan fiction.
Mm-hmm. And other zombie fiction.
The first time that you ever told me about what you do, you used the phrase slash fiction. Mm-hmm. Would you say that's accurate, or would you say that's a little flippant?
I think that probably is definitely an aspect of what I write, because slash fiction is where you have, two guys who are in a relationship, and you kind of focus on that relationship.
Okay.
And, that's just how you would describe it. It goes back to the 60s when people would always sort of pair up, like, Captain Kirk and Spock.
Yeah, that's when I heard of slash fiction, mm-hmm. The first example I was ever given was Kirk / Spock.
Yep, exactly. They're the original, kind of.
So, can you say clearly what is slash fiction to you?
To me, slash fiction is when you have a story about two guys who are in a relationship, and it could be just random aspects of their relationship, their everyday relationship, or it could be problems in their relationship, or it could just be like them having sex. Like that would be slash fiction.
Is it usually just them having sex? Or is it like, does slash fiction ever have the sort of like day-to-day relationship?
Oh, you can have that.
Bickering.
You can have totally. Like there are different aspects of even just all fan fiction, gay or straight, where it's like you have your smut fics, which are just, your two characters that you like going at it.
So slash doesn't necessarily entail sex. It implies it heavily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's just a relationship. It could just be maybe a longing on one part. It could just be what you would call fluff, which is like, oh, look, they're being cute together. Like, oh, they're having a snowball fight or something like that.
Kirk and Spock.
Exactly. A Kirk and Spock having a snowball fight. Yeah.
You write Left 4 Dead 2 slash fiction.
Yes, I do.
Which seems to me like an odd choice, because I tried to go and do some research here before we got started, and there's kind of nothing to see. There's the intros to Left 4 Dead 1 and Left 4 Dead 2, mm-hmm. and then after that, there's no other character stuff, although I did read that each of these characters in here has like 1,000 lines each that they say during gameplay, so that's a little bit about their characters. But what tuned you into writing slash fiction for something that seems to have no plot?
That's actually kind of a funny story. Well, I don't know. I think it's kind of funny.
It's funny. Go ahead.
Awesome.
Tell it like it is, and we'll decide later.
A friend and I, she'd come over, and we'd been playing this game together. And I was playing as the character Nick, and she was playing as the character Ellis. And, we're protecting each other, because that's what you do if you want to play these characters.
Yeah,
protect
it's cooperative.
Yeah, it's a cooperative game.
I think that's what sets it apart, in addition to its AI.
Oh, yeah, completely. Yeah. And so we'd be saving each other and doing stuff. And at one point, I don't know, I saved her, she saved me, and I just sort of said flippantly, oh, it's so cute, because look, I just saved you. And my friend said, well, it's because you love me, he loves me. Uh-huh. And we just sort of laughed about it, but then we just sort of sat there and we're like, well, that's kind of fun. Well, let's just play like that. Let's just play like they're boyfriends or something. And so we did. And then after that, I was like, well, that was kind of fun. And then the lines that they have with each other, that interact with each other, they're kind of that banter kind of like teasing each other.
Try to keep up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or, let Dr. Nick fix you up is one of his lines. So I definitely was healing her, and he said that, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Okay.
So
what had you make the leap from from joking around with your friends on the couch like you do to putting something down on paper?
Well, I was just kind of curious if maybe there had been people who'd written these two characters, and so I looked online, and I did find some in a live journal community, and I said, okay, and so I read some of it, and then I thought, well, maybe I'd do something like that, maybe, because I've written fan fiction before. I used to write for that 70s show fandom.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I haven't written fan fiction in a while, maybe I'll just try to see what happens with these characters. And the first story I wrote was kind of clunky, and it had issues, and it was fine, it was fine, and then I realized, well, this is actually kind of fun. What if I try a different one?
Okay.
So I just had fun with the characters.
And to double back, how would you describe what you're working on right now? Are you writing for? Are you continuing to write in this vein, or have you moved on to something else?
I'm sort of between fandoms right now.
I'm sort of between fandoms.
I know, it sounds so weird to say that. Here, I'm just going to press start,
okay,
and then we can just
go ahead.
Yeah. I think once my big story was done in Left 4 Dead 2, I didn't feel like I could really do much else. I felt like, all right, I've done what I can do. I don't want to cling to it. So I just sort of moved on. I'm not really in fandom
how often how often do people hop fandoms, and is that a big deal? Is it a little bit like switching sides or something like that?
I think that it really depends on the person. I mean, I have a really good friend that I met in that 70s show fandom who she's hopped from that 70s show to Twilight to Game of Thrones to all sorts, but it's never like, you still have affection for your old fandoms. Sure. It's not like you're like, ugh, forget that 70s show, that's stupid now. It's just, but you don't really have that drive anymore.
And so you're also into reading things that other people do in the fan fiction genre that you're in at the particular time. Cool. What is it? Just that you want more and you can't get enough? Is that what drives you to start writing the fan fiction, or you like the characters, or? I
think that it's probably with this one. Oh my god, my controllers are weird. I think with this one, it was kind of like I wanted to see what other people did with these characters. And then I wanted to see what I could do with
these characters are certainly a blank slate. This is even I came into this thinking like why this one, but maybe why other ones that already have set characters. Why not find stuff like this that isn't very fleshed out, that leaves you a lot of room? Can I jump over this and die?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you can certainly try. I'm going to try
to die.
Rochelle, no. You have so much to live for. Let me quickly change this. I think that with these characters, the issue with these characters is that while it's cool that they're a blank slate, that's great, because then you have a lot of freedom. I think the problem is then that can create some tension between fans, because if there is no characterization that you're given, people are going to make up their own interpretations, and then it sort of gets weird because they'll be like, well, that's out of character for this character. And it's like, well, but there really is no character for this character?
Yeah, talk about that. Like, if there's such a thing, there's such a thing as official canon, and then is there a thing like fan canon?
Yeah, it's called fanon.
Really? I was about to make that word up.
There you go, yes, you're so brilliant. Yeah.
So there's fanon, but who decides fanon? Since it seems like there's no stat. Hi, I'm going to hit you, right?
No, that's Ellis.
Okay. I just hit Ellis with a crowbar.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to see if it mattered.
I don't know if it matters for the bots. He's a bot. I could always heal him, so whatever.
Well, I'll just try and...
Yeah, get your bearings.
Is he going to shoot me eventually?
I don't think so. I don't think the bots do that. I think that no matter what you do, they'll just sort of sit there and take it.
It doesn't seem like it.
He's just taking it. He's like, oh, that's fine. You can hit me.
Okay. I should not have a crowbar. I should have
There are axes, too. I think that one of the problems... Well, I don't think that anyone really decides... it's just so hard in this...